Welcome to my channel. My name is Donna and this is Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is a rosy Bourke parakeet. Today I am diving into the fascinating world of pin feathers, those delicate structures that play a crucial role in the life of our feathered friends. Pin feathers, also known as blood feathers, are newly developing feathers, either on baby birds that have just started growing their feathers, or when a feather is pulled out or falls out during a molt. Molting happens once or twice a year, which helps the bird to replace old and damaged feathers to keep the bird in good condition. And Tinkerbell here is molting. You can see some flight feathers here. That's why she doesn't have any. I don't clip wings. They have molted out and she's growing in some new tail feathers and she's going to look beautiful very soon. When a feather is molted out, a new feather will start to grow from the same follicle, which starts out as a pin feather. They may look like spikes, quills, or pins like poking through the skin, and they look like a hedgehog or a porcupine. They most resemble pins, which is why they may be called pin feathers. Pin feathers are encased in a protective sheath. They also contain a blood supply, which nourish the growing feather. All new feathers have a blood supply, and that is why they are also called blood feathers. Pin feathers start off small and full of blood. They are more of a dark blue color at the base where the feather is developing and being nourished by blood. On smaller feathers, such as around the nares and the face, they are pinkish to red at the base where the blood is supplying the growing feather. Some birds may look like they are bleeding around the nares and the face because the pin feathers are so tiny and full of blood. It appears like they are bleeding. However, on closer inspection, they are not bleeding and it's just the color of the pin feathers. During this stage, the feather is delicate and sensitive. As the feather matures, the tip of the feather will mature first and the blood supply will recede. Then the sheath will taper off to a silvery or whitish color towards the top of the feather. This is when the new feather is ready to break out of the protective sheath, revealing the fully formed feather beneath. The sheath on the pin feather can also be removed by either the bird's mate through preening, the bird preening itself, or rubbing against an object, or you can help by gently rubbing it between your fingers until the sheath falls off if your bird allows you to. They will ask you to preen them by lowering their head, and if you touch them the wrong way, they may nip. Be very gentle as there still may be blood at the lower half or the base of the feather, which makes the feather more sensitive. Only remove the sheath when it's white and ready to fall off, otherwise it's very painful. Once the feather is fully developed, the blood supply is lost and the feather is a dead unit in the skin. If a pin feather is damaged or broken, it can lead to bleeding. The tail and flight feathers are most prone to damage of broken blood feathers. Birds are itchy when growing in pin feathers and may scratch at it, causing them to bleed. To elevate itchiness, offer plenty of daily bathing. Other birds may overpreen their partners to cause damage, like unintentionally. Birds may bang into objects or flap their feathers against objects, which can cause damage. Night frights can cause severe damage. Because the feather shaft is hollow, it acts like a straw for the blood to flow through. So it's important to stop the bleeding immediately, as birds can only lose so much blood. If your bird breaks a blood feather, the bleeding needs to be stopped immediately, as the bird could bleed out. The feather may clot on its own, or you may have to help by applying styptic powder, cornstarch, or flour to the damaged area of the feather. You can place your bird in a smaller cage in a quiet area away from other birds to minimize stress and to allow your bird to rest while keeping an eye out for any more bleeding. If the bleeding does not stop after a few minutes, rush to your avian veterinarian. The last resort is pulling the broken blood feather. If you do not have an avian veterinarian or they are very far away and your bird is bleeding out, you may need to pull the feather to save your bird. You will need hemostats or tweezers to pull the feather. The blood will need to be wiped away or washed away so you can find which one is broken. The wing is most delicate as it can be fractured if you don't hold the wing properly. The wings need to be held like steady while you pull the feather. It just takes a second to pull. The bird will be stressed and weak and need to recover. It's weak because of the blood loss. It will place the bird like in its own hospital cage and keep warm and quiet. It may be best to go to your avian veterinarian even after you pull the feather if your bird is weak and not recovering well. But sometimes it does take a while for your bird to recover. Some birds may require like pain medicine and fluids from your veterinarian while recovering. And just remember that a follicle can be damaged and a wing could be fractured if it's not held properly. So be very, very careful. So I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. To watch another video just like this one, click on the video on the screen and I will see you next time. Happy birding!